Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Common Man's Compass with David
and Justin. This is a great podcast, guys. It's a podcast navigating life, faith, and everything in between. A conversation where anything goes. You never know what we're going to talk about. There's no telling. But we always try to keep God in it and keep God involved.
And we're glad you're here.
What's going on, everybody? We is back. We are on, and it is great. It is a great day. We have lots of things to talk about. One that's kind of sad. And we got David here as usual.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hello, Governor.
Bruh.
All kinds of crazy stuff.
Lots of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris. I thought that man was going to live forever.
Right. I mean, he's a legend. And it's crazy because, like, the generation before me knew him as the martial arts guy.
Right.
In the martial arts movies, Mission in Action, the combat movies. My generation knows him from Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah,
Your
same.
generation knows him by the memes.
No. I watched Walker, Texas Ranger growing up.
Did you watch Walker, Texas Ranger?
It was one of my favorite shows.
I didn't care for it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
It was Matlock with the cowboy hat.
Oh, okay, I see that. But see, Matlock wasn't like a bad dude. He wasn't like beating people up, with his
Yeah, he
sidekick.
was. With the Reading Rainbow guy?
Yeah, I know. but I do gotta say, dude could fight.
Oh, yeah. Matlock was an awesome show. I don't like the reboot. Did you know they made a reboot? There's some woman.
Oh, no,
playing
yes,
as
I
Matlock.
did.
I was like, really?
I had to think about it. Yeah, and Matlock, I never got into Matlock. I watched a little bit of it, but I just couldn't get into Matlock. Walker, Texas Ranger, so I loved Walker, Texas Ranger. That was for the longest time growing up as a kid, that was one of my favorite shows to watch.
I know, it was everyone. I mean, to me, it was just not my thing, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
I forget what her name was. The beautiful blonde that was on there. That's what I liked about the show.
Oh, God. Bless America.
Right.
It's
really,
there somewhere.
Really pretty.
Yeah.
But she never wore anything slutty.
Yeah, she wasn't like a provocative dresser. Yeah.
That's what.
And she always had like a blue jean vest or a blue jean jacket on.
Right. And to me, they could really make new shows that are just like that.
Oh, I'm sure.
There was action, there was drama, there was a little bit of comedy, but there wasn't sex there.
Yeah.
And that's all that's on TV nowadays is that.
I loved the black Dodge with the big OKC lights over top
yeah.
of bruh. And I don't care if it was 110 degrees outside, he had a black cowboy hat on. A black felt cowboy. That man had to have been sweating to death.
And it was like, when's he gonna do the roundhouse kick? Like,
yeah,
is
every
it gonna?
time.
Yeah.
That was the slow end of show. Kapah! He'd hit the guy,
Oh, there
and
it is.
And the guy's dead.
All right, Wheel of Fortune.
I do gotta say, Chuck Norris in real life though was a bad dude.
Oh yeah, he was an amazing guy.
Yeah,
activist and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he had not just that. I'm just talking about fighting career, bro. He had I think it's let's look here. Let's make sure I'm not a liar. But I do believe he had, over 180 professional fights.
Nice.
Wow. It says Chuck Norris had a highly successful professional martial arts career before his acting career, boasting over 180 professional fights. He was a 6-time undefeated world professional middleweight karate champion, competing in full contact karate and tournament fighting throughout the 1960s and the 1970s against elite opponents. Now, he was doing that before he ever became a movie star.
You said karate wrong.
What did I say?
It's karate.
Karate. I will say that also brings up the age-old talk, which we grew up, debating, and you know exactly what that is. Who's gonna win? Him or Bruce Lee? I 100% stand on Bruce Lee. all day long.
Oh yeah.
Or not Bruce Lee. Sorry, Chuck Norris. I've said the wrong name.
I'm Bruce Lee.
You're Bruce Lee?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me give you my defense as attorney for Chuck Norris.
Be like water.
All right. Now, you just heard Chuck Norris had over 180 professional fights, did full contact fights in competition, right? And was like world champion, all this jazz. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Bruce Lee did not fight professionally in mixed martial arts or boxing.
Right.
So he has no like real says, but he was a highly trained martial artist who competed in a 1958 Hong Kong boxing tournament and won. So one tournament and won.
1-1.
It
There
doesn't.
you go.
It doesn't. Now, I'll also say it doesn't say whether it was full contact or not. It says, while he did not have professional fighting record, Lee was involved in numerous less documented private or street style fights, and his work focused on film and developing his own martial arts philosophy, Jeet Kune Do. Which here's what I will say.
Be like water.
I'm not saying that Bruce Lee is not a bad dude. Bruce Lee could walk into a room and probably kill anybody in there.
Well, here's
but
my
when
thing.
you put Bruce Lee against Chuck Norris, so it's like, it'd be like, David, if I taught you how to throw a football and I taught you how to throw it perfect and you were great at it, and I taught you how to kick a football and you could kick it great and you were good at it, and then I put you on an NFL team and I said, go play football, David.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how to throw the ball and you know how to kick it, but you don't know anything about the plays. You don't know anything about football. You don't even know how the points go.
I get that, but Bruce Lee's whole thing was using their momentum against him, and that's really hard to counter someone that's already countering a counter. And you throw a kick, and he deflects the kick and uses your kick against you.
Who says that Chuck Norris can't do the same thing?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in the movie, Chuck Norris couldn't do it. That's why Bruce Lee won in the movie.
Well, that was Bruce Lee's movie where he was supposed to win. That was scripted.
And
That's not even fair.
What movie was it? Was it?
I don't remember.
I believe it was Enter the Dragon.
All I know is Bruce Lee was smooth chest, and Chuck Norris looked like his body never seen a razor.
Now, I do remember.
He was like Uncle Lewis.
I do remember people saying that the reason that Bruce Lee won was because he pulled chest hair or something like that.
Well, in the movie he is supposed to. So he like grabs a hold of Chuck Norris's chest hair, and I don't know if he actually pulled his hair out, but it's just a movie that's scripted. I'm saying in a real like knockdown drag out, there are no rules.
I could take them both out with one finger.
I know you could. But that's cheating.
250 yards away.
But no, for real, like I think if you put them both in a ring, put some gloves on them and a couple of mouthpieces, and said, "All right, go." I think.
Well, and that's
Chuck
another
Norris
thing.
would
That's
just
another thing.
Obliterate him.
Are you talking about competition style, like an exposition, where there's a referee and there's rules?
Throw it UFC style.
Well,
that's a mixed martial arts tournament.
Then Chuck Norris.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
put them on the street, and you don't know.
Well,
there's a difference.
That's what UFC is for. It's for mixed martial arts, and so you get to take what you know, okay, and you get to go. And MMA, that's a better example. That's mixed martial arts. That's what that's what that's for. So you get to take whatever you know, whatever martial art you know, and you get to put it to the test against somebody else in their martial art.
But they still have rules.
Whether they had rules or not.
There's still a referee.
You could take the ref out, take the rules away. I still think Chuck Norris would beat him retarded.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Unless he picks up a weapon, and even then, I don't know. I'm sorry, but and not that I don't like Bruce Lee. I like Bruce Lee. I like him.
Right.
I loved his movies. I do think he's a bad dude. I just don't think he could beat Chuck Norris. I think Chuck Norris would handle him.
I don't know. You know what would really happen? Mr. T would come out of nowhere and take them both out.
Right. He'd hit him with the
fool.
He'd hit him with the A-Team van.
Yeah. I pity the fool.
Yeah.
What you chumps doing on the floor?
I wonder how many people are going to get the heat hit them with the A-Team van. That's
Right.
the real question. But for real, Chuck Norris a bad dude.
Yeah.
You know who would have definitely got beaten up by Chuck Norris?
Me?
Steven Seagal.
I don't
I
know.
think so, 100%.
I don't know.
100%. Chuck Norris would kill Steven Seagal.
I wonder if they ever did anything together.
I don't think so. Look, we can look. We could look that up maybe, but I don't think so.
I know.
And don't get me wrong, Steven Seagal is an Aikido master or whatever it is. You know, he's studied that. I'm sure he's a master of it. But it's designed to use if, let's say, you had. It's designed for samurais back in the day to fight somebody who had a sword. So if you lost your sword, you could still do something about it. That's what that was for. People don't walk around with swords anymore, David.
I do.
Whatever. But that's
Come at me, bro.
if you put someone that was training in just Aikido alone, they trained in nothing else. They just trained in Aikido, and you put them in a UFC ring, they're probably in some trouble.
Right.
I could almost guarantee you they're in some trouble. Joe Rogan speaks on that.
Well,
And
see,
he's
that's
even
what I-
like.
that's what I was saying.
He says the same thing I'm saying, where he's like, "Oh yeah, he's legit. It's just outdated."
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you put those two in a UFC ring, it would be Chuck Norris because he knows rules and he knows how to use those rules.
Oh well, fine. Give Bruce Lee the knowledge of the rules. Who cares about the rules? I'm talking
The
about
thing
the
is,
capability.
the thing is Chuck Norris has done competitions and have won with
Yeah.
rules and structure. Bruce Lee hasn't, so that's why I say I give it to Chuck for that reason alone,
So
for the experience.
Here's another way I could explain this. I see what you're saying, and I agree with you there. But I'll also say the strategy of a fight. So if you get really good at throwing punches, you can throw great kicks, you can throw great punches, and you're great at it. You can hit that heavy bag. You can beat the brakes out of a dummy, and you're doing great. You're practicing with the dummy on the ground. They also have a grappling dummy you can use, and you got everything perfect. You can do all of these actions perfect, and then you have to put it to practice
Right.
with somebody
Right.
in a ring.
And
or in
that
the
really
street.
is. That's
two different things.
Yeah.
That's where I put the difference at. That's where I'm like, you take somebody that has all those skills though, and put them against Joe Blow. Yeah, Joe Blow's gonna die.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Bruce Lee's gonna kill him.
No.
But you put him against someone like Chuck Norris.
Here's a
Sorry,
match.
bro.
Here's a match for you: Van Damme versus Chuck Norris.
No, that would be crazy.
That would be a good.
Dude.
That would be a good.
Oh,
match.
that would be a great match. Jean-Claude Van Damme's a bad dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, and not just in the movies.
And I'm like, put them in their prime.
Yeah, in their prime, together in a ring, and go.
I would have to say a draw, just
Yeah.
because I mean, jeez.
I don't agree with you. I don't know enough about John. You know what? We have Google.
Yeah.
Let's use the Google.
Here's another one: Bruce Lee versus Jet Li.
Okay, let's see.
I would have to say Jet Li because he's
Did
amazing.
Jean-Claude Van Damme ever have any professional fights?
I think he did. He did that.
Yeah, he
Bloodsport.
sure did. He said he had. Jean-Claude Van Damme had a documented career in semi-contact karate and professional full-contact kickboxing in Europe before his acting career, compiling a reported record of 18 wins, all by knockout, and 1 loss in kickboxing. He was a second dan black belt in, forgive me, Shotokan Karate. I hope I'm saying that right.
Wow.
Shotokan Karate, competing between 1976 and 1982. So in theory,
they're part.
they could have totally, I would have loved to see that.
yeah. That would be really interesting.
That would be a fight for the world.
Because that's like kick per kick.
Oh yeah. You know who else is a really good fighter? Oh man, I can't think of his name now.
The guy from Kings of Queens.
No, he's a man. His name is right there. Michael Jai White.
I don't know who that is.
Really?
Yeah. I probably do.
I bet you do. Hold on. And he in real life is like a legit certified. Here we go.
So while you look that
Michael
up,
Jai White.
while you look that up, did you know Bloodsport is an actual true story? Okay, Spawn.
Yeah. That's what I should have said.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a professional. Like, he is legit. Oh my gosh, dude. I could not, I wonder if he had any professional fights. Let's see. All right. Let's see. I hope I'm spelling this right. Michael. I may be misspelling this. All right, here we go. Boom. Bam. You know what, though? Now, he is a legit bad dude, okay? He is, like, I got to give him that. That dude is hardcore. This says, Michael Jai White has not competed in televised mainstream professional combat sports like UFC or major boxing promotions. However, he has an extensive background in and has competed in full contact karate and various often unrecorded underground or tough man style fighting circuits alongside sparring with champions.
Nice. No,
So he's got some recorded fights, and then it says he has some unrecorded, but he does have some recorded fights, but it doesn't say what his record is.
in the original Mortal Kombat, I think it's the original. Was he Jax?
I don't know. I don't think so. You could look it up.
I'm gonna look it up.
You should look it up, dude. We got Google. Google works.
Right.
Either way, though, I do got to say, man, I am kind of sad that the memes are already out about Chuck Norris.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, not that they're like hurting my feelings, but I'm kind of like, is it too soon?
I think so. I really do.
Let his family grieve. Yeah, he was a tough guy. He was a great guy. And those memes that started first coming out back, way, way back when. I think if I remember correctly, he actually got upset about it. Ooh, excuse me. He got upset about it, and then he wound up being okay with it. Something happened, and it just changed his mind. But I think one of my favorite ones is when I think they said Chuck Norris got bitten by a venomous snake, and after 5 agonizing days, the snake died.
Right. So the first one, Gregory McKinley was the first one from 95.
Okay.
But what was the second movie? Maybe it was the second one. All right. Keep talking. I'm listening.
I'm not sure. I don't know what the second movie would be. I don't remember. That's like bringing back way back in the day. We used to Mortal Kombat it up back in the day. The movies, the video games.
It was Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Annihilation. Man. Chuck Norris is amazing, though.
Oh, yeah.
Chuck Norris could have beat everybody in Mortal Kombat. Liu Kang wouldn't have known what to do. Chuck Norris would have been like, my roundhouse is way cooler than your roundhouse. Watch this. Every time I do it, slow motion effects happen. Yeah.
MacGyver. Oh, no. Sorry.
Raiden would have been lost. Who's this Chuck Norris? Why is he wearing a cowboy hat? I thought I was the only guy that could wear a hat.
All of a sudden, you see Dirty Harry come out. You feel lucky, punk?
Clint Eastwood jumps into the picture. I've come with all the guns.
I almost forgot my notes because of my other thing I wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about it.
Well, you didn't know. We could totally step into that. We could talk Chuck Norris all day. I'm still Team Chuck Norris. I'm sorry.
Norris.
You can be Bruce Lee, but I'm Team Chuck Norris.
Well, did you ever watch Chuck Norris's Missing in Action?
No, I never did get to see that one.
Those are really good. I think there's like 2, maybe 3 of them.
Really?
But they're really good. They're around the time when the original Predator came out, and
I think I've seen some clips of
Rambo.
it. Doesn't he drive a Chevy Blazer out of the ground after like pouring a beer on his head?
I'm not for sure. I don't think it was in that one.
Oh, okay.
Because this one, he is captured in Vietnam, and it's about him escaping from it, and then like coming back and rescuing everyone.
Okay.
It's really good. Really good.
That is interesting.
Not that much karate style movie. It was more guns
really
a-blazing.
focused more on his action, his acting is what I was trying to say. I was all focused on his action, because it's Chuck Norris. It's always action. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, now I can segue into, or whatever it's called.
Segue into what you're talking about next.
I had AI help me figure it out because I'm going to remember the guy's name.
Okay.
But here's what it says. All right. Here's something you might have heard floating around. That turns into cancer.
Really?
Yeah. But what it is this. Let me find his name. He's a British researcher named Andrew Renehan.
Okay.
Renehan. And he has spent years studying about the effects that obesity has mainly towards cancer.
All right.
And it's like fat itself doesn't magically turn into cancer, but it does create the environment, like the perfect environment for cancer to grow. Because of you have higher insulin level, which means your body's in overdrive, and it's constantly. The best way to describe insulin is I Love Lucy. When she's on that chocolate factory and all the chocolates are coming by and she's like stuffing them in pockets and eating them and putting them different places. That's what happens when your body is in overdrive and it's creating insulin. And the storage units are already full, and that's why we expand and we get bigger, because it's...
I don't know. I'd have to see the science behind that.
Right.
But it is interesting to think about.
But with that, when your body is having to go in overdrive, it doesn't care about the quality that it's producing. It's just producing. And so cancer is created by your mutated cell.
Mutated cells.
And that's just overdrive. It's kind of like when you work 48 hours, your work's not as good as it was the first 2 hours.
Right.
That's just my logic. That's not AI saying that. But it causes chronic inflation, like a slow burning fire, damaging cells over time. Like I said, it's overheating and it's constantly working on overtime. Now, not everyone believes what this guy is saying. Some researchers argue just because obesity and cancer show up together doesn't mean that one causes the other.
I could agree with that.
They say it could share factors like poor diet, low activity, and your genetics.
Okay.
And then, sorry, my dog's barking. It says not all fat is equal. Where fat is stored matters more than how much you weigh. And that I agree. That's that. The belly fat is a higher risk. Mm-hmm. And then like the fat under your skin is less risky. But the reason the fat around your belly is more dangerous than your other parts is because that's where all your organs is.
Well, and that I will say on that note, that's why a lot of people that are obese, they end up with what's called a fatty liver. A lot of people have a fatty liver and they don't even realize they have one.
Right. That's what they call skinny fat.
Yeah. So that's skinny fat, whatever. There are a lot of obese people out there in the world today that don't know that they have a fatty liver, and they what it does is it makes your liver enzymes elevated, and your liver's working a lot harder than it should be, and it's not really good for you.
No,
it's not great.
See, this thing, what he was saying was that your body is creating fat, or it's creating insulin that turns into fat, whatever.
Yeah.
The fat is being stored, and it's being stored in your pancreas, in your brain, in your liver, in your kidneys, all these places, and that's where most of the cancer is being found.
Interesting.
And so that's where he's saying, like you said, interesting. it seems like the more fat I have, the more risk I have of having pancreas cancer or brain cancer.
From mutated cells.
From-
That is interesting. I would definitely have to see some science behind it before I believed
Right.
it. But it is interesting to think about.
What I find interesting is he is saying basically... Oh. Sorry.
Dropping stuff.
Yes. What he's basically, and he's getting slack on it for some reason, is he is saying that the Western medicine that we are taking care of cancer is not working. And it's like, why is it not working?
Well, it does work. It just destroys your body to do it. It's like it's like you're gonna go fist fight somebody in the street.
But it's not a cure.
Well,
it's a maintain. It's maintenance.
No, because you can cure it. You can kill it. You can send it into remission. I got to disagree with you.
Is remission cure?
Remission, or if it is gone, it's a cure.
Well, then why don't they say cure? Why do they say remission? Why are they saying it's asleep?
I don't know.
I put it to sleep. No,
I don't. Here's what I will say. This is how my brain thinks about it. It's like if you were going to go get in a street fight with somebody. Say I was going to come fight you, David. I was like, we're going to fight. And I show up to your house, and I show up to your house. I tell you tomorrow we're gonna fight, and then instead of me showing up to fight, I nuke the entire town.
Right.
It's kind of what it is. It's bringing a bomb to a fist fight.
I'm in a shelter, and I'm hanging out in the shelter. So you slip up and I sleep out.
I don't know.
So you've nuked your whole body.
Yeah.
And I'm still around.
Well, see, I see what you're saying there.
I'm just underground.
Yeah, and I will agree. It is, I guess cure is not the proper word. Because they don't have a cure for cancer, but they have a way to kill it and stop it.
And that's what he's saying. Shouldn't we be looking for a cure instead of maintenance?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Or, like you said, or let's not nuke the whole entire system and try to start over and see if you survive nuke it, the fallout from it.
Yeah.
Because all those medicines... And he's just saying, let's look over the medicine. If we can prevent people, if we can lower the obesity, being fat, obesity, I couldn't get the word out. If we could lower obesity levels, then there might be a case saying that we are lowering cancer.
Right.
However, like it said, I'm on the fence with it because I know genetics that some people get cancer, and I know some people that have smoked all their life and they've never heard of cancer in their whole family. And I've heard of people that never smoked get lung cancer. Right. So it's like you can't say, well, if you just quit smoking, you won't get cancer. That's where my problem with his stance is, saying that if you're not fat, you won't get cancer.
Right.
And I don't know if that's what he's claiming, but that's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like to me. That's why I was like, I need to see it.
But he's getting slack from it, saying, let's come up with something else. Let's find some other alternative way. Maybe if we get them to lose a little bit of weight, then maybe we can work on the cancer. Because he's thinking fat first, cancer second.
Right.
And a lot of people have it the opposite way. But it's interesting that he is being shut down over in London. That they were like, oh, he's just heresy. He's talking all kinds of crazy stuff.
They're like, he's a quack.
Yeah, and it's like all he's doing is bucking the system.
Yeah, and they're like, hearsay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I think with all medicine, with all education, should be bucked and it should be shook up. And then it's kind of like with my faith as Christianity, I've read about the Muslim world, and it strengthened my my walk in my Christianity. It didn't tear my faith down because I read some other faith. Yeah. It just,
I do got to say, speaking of faith, bro, this Jimmy Clifton guy.
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
Have you heard the song? What is it? The Man Jesus Christ?
I believe that's what it was called.
Let me make sure I'm not misquoting anything here. Let's see here. Wait.
You know what the best Christian song is?
The Man Jesus Christ by Jimmy Clifton. Bruh, that'll bring a dude to tears. Like, especially the bridge of that song. It is surreal. It's a great song. Like, I think that dude is going places.
Right. Now, when did that song came out? Did that come out this year?
Very new.
Nice.
Like, ridiculously new. I don't know exactly when, but, like, from what I understand, like, his new song is what that is.
Nice. I've heard some new artists that I've never heard. I'm like, oh, this is great. And it's like, oh,
this has been out for 20 years.
1968.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I thought it was new. Yeah. It's not.
Dude, that dude is... It is just, I don't know, and it's nuts. It's funny. He's not afraid to touch base on the subjects that most people are like, we can't sing about that or talk about that. And he's like, no, these are struggles we have, and so I'm going to sing about them.
And he's not calling anyone out. He's talking about like internal reflection and like, I'm dealing with this. I'm not okay, but I'm okay with Jesus. Like Jesus is the one that's going to take this from me.
Yeah.
It was really powerful stuff.
Yeah, he touches all kinds of stuff, man. He starts talking and he's like, he was like comparing himself, in my opinion, comparing himself to Jesus and how terribly, of a life he lived, and that he's, glad that Jesus lived or died for his sins. But he's like in the bridge, he's like, I'm the hater of your word, I'm the thief, I'm the liar, and he's saying these things. He's like, he's basically saying I'm guilty of all of these things, and in the end, towards the end of the bridge, he's like, he says something like, I don't want to misquote it, but it's like the biggest flame I do deserve, or the hottest flame I do deserve, and he's basically saying like, I'm not worthy, but then he's like, but God saved me, and that is just amazing to hear,
right? And it instantly makes it personal, because I've had those prayers that I'm this wretched person,
and you never hear in the music that you don't hear that fire and brimstone. Don't get me wrong, God is love, but we need to understand that we're really not worthy at all, and because of Jesus, we are. It's just it's mind blowing. But speaking of mind blowing, I do believe it is that time, David.
Well, hold on.
Oh, hold on. What do we got? We got something else to add to it?
Yes.
What's that?
There's a classic country song called "In Daddy's Hands."
Oh, really?
And
I've heard that song.
It's by Holly Dunn, and it kind of makes me think of what you just said. It said, where is it? Okay, here it is. I remember Daddy's hands, how they held my mama tight and patted my back for sometimes done wrong. I just totally chewed that up.
Yeah.
And patted my back for something done right. There are things that I had forgotten that I loved about the man, but I always remember the love in Daddy's hands. Daddy's hands were soft and kind when I was crying. Daddy's hands were hard as steel when I've done wrong. Daddy's hands weren't always gentle, but I've come to understand there was always love in Daddy's hands.
That's
and
awesome.
I instantly think of God, but it's kind of like you were saying with the fire and brimstone. Like, sometimes we need that. We need a hug. Sometimes we need that. Yeah. Sometimes we need a slap in the face and go, what are you doing?
Yeah. Sometimes you got to wake up.
Right.
Yeah.
And every time I hear that song, I have a tear in my eye, because I always think of Jesus' love for us.
That's cool.
That he is that loving, protective, showing me how much he loves the church and how much he loves people. Yeah. But at the same time, he's not afraid to correct me when I'm wrong.
That's right.
All right, now you can pray.
Oh, yeah. well, I'm going to say real quick, shout out to Jimmy Clifton. Y'all need to go check that song out.
Yes,
I don't even
100%.
know this. I don't even know this dude. Never met him. Literally heard about him day before yesterday.
Right.
Like, insane. Y'all got to check that song out. I think it's amazing. I think y'all are going to love it.
It is kind of weird to hear a song. It's like, man, you're pulling thoughts up right out of my head.
Right, dude.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, you going to pray us out, David?
I can.
Go for it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for the time that we have visiting talking about memories and cherished ones. Lord, thank you for everything that you've done, and have a great week. And we love you. Amen.
Amen.